It's not that you don't have time, it's that your focus is leaking, your energy is scattered, and your priorities are upside down. You wake up tired not because you slept too little, but because you're mentally drained from pouring into things that don't feed your purpose. You're spending your best hours on distractions, arguing with people who don't matter, and chasing tasks that make you feel busy, but never move you closer to the life you want. Time management isn't about schedules. It's about clarity, discipline, boundaries. It's about protecting your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Master your time, master your energy, and you'll master your results. Look around. Most people are overworked, overstimulated, and underproductive. Why? Because they're not intentional. They live in reaction, not direction. They wake up and immediately hand their day over to distractions, scrolling timelines, checking messages, answering calls that could have waited. Every ping, every notification, every meaningless conversation, it costs energy. And energy is your most precious currency. You can't afford to give it away so carelessly. You don't get burnout from doing too much. You get burnout from doing too little of what matters. You're tired not because life is hard, but because you're carrying 100 unnecessary weights you never needed to pick up. The real challenge isn't time, it's decision fatigue, it's emotional clutter, it's a life full of yes to things that deserved a no. And every time you say yes to what doesn't matter, you say no to your goals, your health, your peace, and your future. So the question isn't, how do I get more hours in the day? The real question is, what am I allowing to steal my minutes, drain my power, and hijack my mind? Because the most successful people don't just manage their calendars, they manage their capacity, they protect their mornings, they guard their attention, they say no without apology, they treat their energy like elite athletes treat their bodies, with respect, intention, and strategy, and so must you. If you want to win, you need more than time. You need focus like a laser, boundaries like a fortress, and a routine built to elevate, not exhaust. Because what you allow is what will continue, and your future is being built, one decision, one distraction, one yes or no at a time. So ask yourself, are you owning your day, or is your day owning you? Because if you don't master your time and energy, someone else will, and they'll use it to build their dream, while yours waits on the sidelines. The myth of busy and why it's destroying you. Let's be clear. Being busy is not the same as being productive. But in today's world, people wear busy like a badge of honor, as if rushing through the day, drowning in tasks, and chasing notifications means they're doing something meaningful. Busy is the enemy of purpose. Busy hides your lack of clarity. Busy keeps you on a treadmill that moves fast, but goes nowhere. You can check off 20 tasks a day and still wake up years later feeling empty. Why? Because you never stop to ask, are these the right tasks? Is this busyness aligned with where I want to go? You're not behind because you're lazy. You're behind because your attention is scattered across 100 small fires that don't matter. You start the day reacting to emails, texts, opinions, scrolling. And before you know it, it's noon and your mental battery is already dead. Not because you worked too hard, but because you gave your attention away to things that had no return on investment. The most valuable currency you have is not money, it's focus. And when your focus is hijacked, your progress gets hijacked with it. So what's the solution? You must stop trying to do everything. Instead, do what matters most, and do it with ruthless precision. Identify your top priorities, the non-negotiables, then guard them like your life depends on it, because your future does. Because every yes you give today will either build your dream or bury it. You can be busy building someone else's idea of success, or intentional about building your own. One makes you tired, the other makes you unstoppable. Energy is everything. Protect it like treasure. Let's talk about energy, not caffeine, not adrenaline, real energy. the force that fuels your clarity, your discipline, your creativity, your drive. Most people manage their schedule, but they never manage their state. They look at the clock but ignore how they feel. They chase goals, but do so drained, distracted, and discouraged, and then wonder why they're burned out before they even get close. Your energy is more important than your hours. You can have 16 hours in a day and still make no impact if your mind is foggy, your emotions are chaotic, and your spirit is exhausted. You don't just need time blocks, you need energy blocks. You need to know what drains you and what fuels you, who drains you and who fuels you. Every person in your life is either adding to your fire or pouring water on it. Every task you take on is either building your momentum or breaking it. And here's the hard truth. You're not tired because life is hard. You're tired because you've been giving your energy to things, people, and problems that were never yours to carry. Start asking deeper questions. Does this deserve my energy today? Will this move me closer to who I want to become? Is this temporary satisfaction stealing from my long-term peace? Protecting your energy means saying no even when it's uncomfortable. It means unplugging from the noise so you can hear your own voice again. It means resting, not because you're lazy, but because you're a high-performance machine that needs to recharge for the next level. It's not how much you do, it's how well you do what matters. When you learn to manage your energy with intention, you stop surviving your days and start dominating them. Focus is a superpower, but you're wasting it. Focus isn't just about paying attention, it's about choosing where your mind lives. Every scroll, every pointless conversation, every quick check on your phone, it all has a cost. Not just in seconds and minutes, but in clarity, in creativity, and in mental bandwidth. Most people aren't distracted because they lack discipline. They're distracted because they've trained their brain to crave chaos. Every time you give in to the ping, the buzz, the notification, you're rewiring your mind to value urgency over importance, reaction over intention. You can't build a meaningful life in 6-second attention spans. You can't chase a legacy while chasing every trending distraction. You can't master your future if your mind is always being hijacked by someone else's agenda. Focus is like a muscle, and right now, yours might be weak, but it's not broken. You can retrain it. Start by controlling your environment. What you see, you seek. If your space is filled with chaos, your mind will mirror it. If your phone is your first and last thought of the day, don't be surprised when anxiety becomes normal. Make space for deep work. Turn off the noise. Set boundaries that don't bend every time someone wants your attention, because your focus is your future, and when you give it away freely, so goes your potential. This isn't about being antisocial or robotic. It's about knowing what season you're in. And if you're in a season of building, of rising, of becoming, then you have to be ruthless with your attention. Why? Because greatness doesn't come to the most talented. It comes to the most focused. Energy is currency. Spend it intentionally. Most people track time, but few ever track energy. And that's the gap. Because time is what you measure, but energy is what you feel. You can have 12 free hours and get nothing done. And then, in one focused hour, build what you've been procrastinating for months. Why? Because it's not just about how long you work. It's about how well you can show up for what matters. You're wasting your most valuable energy on things that don't move the needle. You argue online with people who won't remember you tomorrow. You stress over things that won't matter next week. You let toxic environments drain you, and then wonder why you don't have the drive to build the life you want. Let's fix that. Start asking better questions. Who drains me and who fuels me? What activities leave me feeling empty? What habits steal my clarity? Then, set boundaries that are louder than your guilt, because guilt says you should say yes, but wisdom says not at the cost of your peace. Stop giving your energy to emotional vampires, people who only call when they need something, situations that never evolve, tasks that feel urgent but are ultimately meaningless. Protect your mornings, they set the tone. Fuel your body, because a weak vessel can't carry a strong vision. Say no to what doesn't align. Not because you're rude, but because you're focused. This isn't selfish, it's strategic. Because when your energy is aligned, you move with power. When your energy is scattered, you move in circles. And you weren't born to run in circles. You were born to build, to rise, to impact. But to do that, your energy needs to be protected like royalty, because your mission depends on it. Build a system that serves your vision. Discipline isn't about being robotic, it's about being intentional. If you don't build a system for your life, you'll get pulled into everyone else's. The world will tell you what to do. Answer this message. React to that drama. Rush here, stress there. And by the end of the day, your soul is exhausted, not because you lived, but because you were used. Let's flip that. Create a structure that supports your mission. Build a rhythm that feeds your energy instead of stealing it. Start with your mornings. Don't let the world in before you center yourself. No social media, no scrolling, no chaos, just silence, clarity, and commitment. Then set non-negotiables, a daily block of time to build your dream. Time for rest, recovery, and reconnection. Space to say no without guilt and yes with purpose. You don't need to be busy, you need to be effective. Every minute you spend reacting to the world is a minute stolen from building your own. And it's not just about checking boxes, it's about aligning with what actually matters. Cut out the noise. Minimize the unnecessary. Maximize what fuels your calling. Because systems aren't cages, they're freedom. They protect you from chaos. They remind you of your direction when the world tries to pull you off track. And once you align your time with your priorities and protect your energy with purpose, you become unshakable. You move from confusion to clarity, from exhaustion to efficiency, from distraction to domination. You don't need more time. You need a better system, one built to serve your vision, not your distractions. So, your time is your life, and your energy, that's your power source. If you give it all away to distractions, drama, and dead-end pursuits, don't be surprised when your results don't reflect your potential. You're not out of time, you're out of alignment, you're not lazy, you're just scattered, and you're not unmotivated, you're overstimulated by what doesn't matter, but that ends today. You've learned that time management isn't just about calendars, it's about clarity. Energy management isn't just about rest, it's about resistance, the ability to say no to everything that isn't your purpose. So protect your mornings, guard your focus, treat your energy like it's sacred, because it is. You're not here to chase everything. You're here to build something that lasts. And that requires boundaries. That demands discipline. That deserves the highest version of you, daily. So take this message seriously. Apply it relentlessly. And remember, the life you want is not out of reach. It's just on the other side of your current habits. Now go build it with focus, fire, and fierce intention. Take care of yourself. Protect your peace. And as always, stay grounded, stay grateful, and keep going strong. Your future self is counting on you.